Good afternoon, Lebanon. Welcome to the city's Independence Day Parade. Thank you for joining us, and here they come. You're going to get everybody representing your city, your schools, your law enforcement. Special thanks to all of you for hanging it out here with us today on our 4th of July celebration. My name is Barry Riley. I am your Chief Deputy of the Warren County Sheriff's Office, and it will be my honor and privilege to read the Declaration of Independence while our parade goes through. You will not hear or remember these words, but please take an opportunity to review this document on your own. Thank you again for coming out. God bless you, and God bless this country. Tomorrow, in 1776, the second Constitutional Convention signed the Declaration of Independence. This was meant to be read by the King of England, the citizens of the 13 colonies, and the world. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute deposition, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government, and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient suffering of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained, and when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodations of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right indispensable to them and formidable to tyrants and He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of people. He has refused for a long time, after such disillusions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states for that purpose, obstructing the laws of naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migration hither, and raising the conditions of the new appropriations of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount of payments of their salaries. He has erected multitude of new officers and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substances. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies within the consent of our legislators. He has effected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation. For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial, from punishment for any murderers which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments, for suspending our own legislators and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging wars against us. He has plundered our seas, our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is, this time, transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages who know rule of warfare is undistinguished by destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may be defined a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our government kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and continuity. We must, therefore, acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war and peace and friends. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America and General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these United States colonies are, and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from the allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may have the right to do. And for the support of the Declaration with a firm reliance on protection of divine providences, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Your Declaration of Independence, ladies and gentlemen.
Good job.
You said a couple big words. I didn't even know you can talk around. I couldn't pronounce them.
This is how we do it, Lebanon, right here. We have llamas or alpacas or whatever they are in our parade. That's how we do it right there. Come on, everybody. Give it up for this crew right here. Best float going. I absolutely love it.
John. Alpaca.
How do you know so many people? That's not your truck, Donovan.
I know. Not my side by side either.
We have Corvettes, Jeeps, Humvees. This is the United States.
Alright.
What's up, Pleasant Plain Lucky Clovers? Thanks for coming out. And there is our Warren County Fair parade float. Don't forget, we have the Warren County Fair, a huge event here in our town. Certainly a huge event for the 4-H kids who put their heart and soul into those projects. Does rock.
I did that this morning. That sheep bike this morning. This will be held on Friday.
Kids, I'm seeing Uncle Sam over there. He's giving fist bumps. There's Lebanon's very own Tom Battaglia and his wife Tammy and the Ben Boss rolling down Broadway. Love you, brother. Come on, everybody. I see this golf cart here with Lebanon's Finest on it. They are here for you all the time, every day. Give it up for them.
Hey, I sent you an email.
Okay. I've been on vacation.
We'll put a bullet in America.
A Lebanon fire engine. We want a loud parade. This is Independence Day. Fire up that siren. Let's go. Come on, boys. Fire that siren up for these kids. Let's go. You fire guys got more than that. Come on. There we go. I'm hearing them now.